How to Think Like Sherlock Holmes, Improve Your Powers of Observation, Memory, and Deduction. This is one of those like books you really wouldn't think would have an impact on business and on just like general overall wellness of life. But this book, it showed me how to think. Like, it showed me how to it showed me how to solve problems in my head before I act on certain things. It showed me how to be resourceful. Like, a lot of people kind of just don't do anything. They cry and they have nothing to do after that, no thoughts after that. It's just like everything's horrible, it's done, everything's over. But this book, How to Think Like Sherlock Holmes, is genius. So I'm gonna read y'all a little bit from this chapter. Building your knowledge base, very interesting. Knowing your subject helps you figure out people very well too. The psychology behind it is. Let's see. Do I got the book in frame? There we go. It is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. The Scandal of Bohemia. Sherlock Holmes was a walking encyclopedia, wasn't he? Surely he, of all men, could hold forth on pretty much any subject you cared to mention. The answers to these questions are not as clear-cut as you might expect. Take Watson, early impression of the breadth of Holmes' knowledge as detailed in a study in Scarlet. His ignorance was as remarkable as his knowledge. Of contemporary literature, philosophy, and politics, he appeared to know next to nothing. So, philosophy, literature, politics, Sherlock Holmes or nothing. Upon my quoting Thomas Carlyle, he inquired in the naivest way who he might be and what he had done. My surprise reached a climax, however, when I found accidentally that he was ignorant in the Carpentia theory and of the composition of the solar system that any civilized human being in the 19th century should not be aware of. The Earth traveled around the sun appeared to me to be such an extraordinary fact that I couldn't hardly realize it. In the same story, Watson gave this more detailed rundown of his friend's area of strength and weakness. Very interesting. Sherlock Holmes, his limits: knowledge, literature, philosophy, astronomy, politics, and botany. Belladonna, opium, and poisons generally. Knows nothing of practical gardening. He knows nothing of practical gardening. Knowledge of geology, practical but limited. Tells at a glance different soils from each other after walks have shown me splashes upon his trousers and told me by their color and consistence in what part of London he had received. Knowledge and chemistry, profound anatomy, accurate but unsystematic. Very interesting. Sherlock Holmes did not know everything. Holmes played upon the alleged deficiencies in his knowledge at various times. In The Adventure of the Noble Bachelor, he insisted I read nothing except criminal news and the agony column. When challenged on his ignorance of the solar system, he demanded of Watson, "What the deuce is it to me?" Very interesting. We should take all this with a pinch of salt. Holmes was focused on the job at hand, and he thus attempted to clear his mind of intellectual clutter irrelevant to a particular task. Knowledge of Holmes was purely utilitarian, something quite at odds with the Victorian era love of knowledge for its own sake. Holmes is a little too scientific for my taste. Stamford told Watson before introducing him to Sherlock. Very interesting. There's so much stuff in this book, I wouldn't even know where to begin. It tells you how to memorize things. Just read the book. See? Put it in there in frame for you again. Sherlock Holmes. Very, very intelligent. How to think just like him.